Let me say that because see, some of y'all won't catch that for 2 more years. God cannot get his children to trust. Some of you right now, you got so much information on God, you got a rap sheet on God a mile long, because some of you been sick and he's healed you. Some of you been naked, he's clothed you. Some of you been hungry. I wish I had 5 people, he put bread on your stomach. Some of y'all didn't even think you'll get a job, but now you're in your retirement. Some of you right now, you didn't know how you're going to make it when that Negro walked out of your life, but yet you're still standing, but yet still, after all that God does, situation after situation, burden after burden, breakthrough after breakthrough, heartache after heartache, sickness after sickness, but yet you still do not trust God. God can get a man to the moon, but we can't trust him. God can make a doctor give you some medicine that'll make you feel better, but we don't trust him. God can right now put your kids through school when you don't even know how they're going to pay for it, but yet we cannot trust them. I had about 5 people that said, Pastor, I'm going to help you preach this thing because I'm a personal witness. I had my back against the wall. I've been down and out. Friends left me. Friends kicked me to the curb. But guess what? I'm still standing. If it had not been for the Lord on my side, I feel my help coming on. Because right now you've been in some battles. You've been in some bruises. You've been under some burdens. But guess what? You're still standing. You ought to make the devil mad right now. Get on your feet and say the battle has been fought. The victory's been won. I'm not going to wait for the battle is over. I'm going to start right now. But guess what? You still don't trust. You mean after all those midnight situations? You mean after your kids have went wayward? You mean after all the times you did not know how you're going to make it through, but yet you are still here? God is something you can't do. You cannot get us to trust you. I'm about to get a benediction because I'm almost finished. Why is that, Pastor? Trust means, listen to me now, God is not going to give you what you want. I wish I had 5 people that help me preach this. Say, Pastor, you're right. God don't always give you what you want. Come on, somebody. He never promised to give you what you want, but he said, I'll give you what you need. I wish I had a need crowd in here. I wish I had somebody that wave their hand and say, Pastor, you're right. He'll meet your needs. He might not give you some Nikes, but he'll put bubble gums on your shoe. But guess what? You're still a neighbor. He might not give you a steak, but he'll give you some ground beef. And let me tell you, that's all the steak is right before it hits your stomach. It better be ground up. Help me somebody. God promised to meet your needs. I found out that the people of God, that God cannot Woo! Prove it, Pastor. How many can raise your hand and say, God brought you out of a whole lot of stuff? Put your hands down. Watch it. How many can say God gave you a few things? Might not have what you want, but at least you got a place to lay your head. At least you got a little bucket. What do you think you would be if you were to trust him totally? What do you think you'll be if the preacher every Sunday didn't have to encourage you, because you had enough encouragement in your bag that even before you got to church, you was already shouting, you were already raising your hand. You got here because all week long, mornings by mornings, God was blessing you with mercy after mercy. his people to do. We trust our husbands and wives more than the Lord. Well, y'all not helping. You trust your little job more than the Lord, and when you lose it, the first person you're going to call on is the Lord. Somebody help. I'm finished. What God can do, number one, get us to trust him. Put number two there. What is it that God can do? God cannot get us to think about nobody else but ourselves. Well, I'm about to help this guy. Look at Abraham. It's right here in the text. Abraham said, God, you're going to destroy Sodom. And look what God said. Because he's going to be great and mighty, I cannot keep what I'm about to do from him. Why? Because he is the one that's going to obey my word. Abraham, let me tell you where I'm going. I heard the cries of Solomon in the morning. And there's so much wickedness I can't even keep track. And what I'm about to do, I'm about to go down and check it out for myself.
All right.
And if I find Solomon and Gomorrah is what the cries of me like, and if I validate that it's wickedness, I'm about to knock it out. Here we go. Watch selfishness. See, a lot of preachers preach this text wrong, but it's selfish because we see Abraham start off, but look what he said. But what happens if he's 50? And look how Abraham always trying to make God feel bad. Would all the God of all the earth destroy the righteous with the wicked? But what if his fifth died? And look how classy God is. Not 50. Well, God, I don't want to talk no more. What about 45? Well, God, that ain't nothing, not 45. What about 40? Not 40. 35, 30, 25, 20. God, here we go. What about if it's 10? Look at me. He said, not even for 10. Somebody say selfishness. Look at me. But Abraham stopped. Woo! And you know why Abraham stopped? Because he knew his cousin Lot was inside. Here we go, watch this. He knew Lot was married, that's true. He knew Lot had daughters and children, so that's at least 4 and their husband, that's it. So just in case they've been doing what y'all doing, not reading their Bibles and making babies, let's just cut it off at 10. Abraham was not thinking about Sodom, he was thinking about his family in the city. Abraham, if you're going to be that deep, what about the one? Woo! What if there's one in Mansfield? What if there's one in West Lawson? God spare the city for the one. If we're going to get people to heaven in 2011, we're going to have to be big enough and bad enough to say, God, we trust you, but God, what about the one? Can I play? Can I have fun just a minute? When was the last time, the only reason you asked God because you know you had something in mind? Look at me, here we go. You had a hidden agenda. You was thinking about you and yours. What about the one that does not know the Lord? God, at the end of the day, cannot get us to think about nobody but